More. More. I don't want them to see my pores. Good morning. A little after 1 p.m. Time to kick this thing off. Get started with the very first episode of Veteran Idiot. My name is Art. I am your veteran idiot. Or a veteran idiot. Or our veteran idiot. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Anyways, so what we're going to be doing on this channel is we're going to go through some vehicles and do some restoration. Mostly these old trucks like this, preferably ones that are still held together with its original metal. Like this one here, this is my 1966 F250 flatbed two-wheel drive with a 240 inline six. Got the smallest engine it comes with it, but boy, is she reliable. Makes a little noise now. We'll get into that a little bit later. Some things we're going to check on and do. Really love this truck. Everything's clean, not a spot of rust on it. It's got the beautiful patina. Threw some clear coat over it. Looks great. Does great. There is some issues with the wood in the back. I've already stained and sanded some of it. I'll show you here in a little bit. But she's a clean truck, and I look forward to adding lots of things to it and doing lots of stuff with it. So anyways, about the channel. What we're going to be doing here on this channel also is more than just a tutorial, because I don't know a whole lot about vehicles, to be perfectly honest. Done a lot of off-road fabrication and stuff like that, but as far as these old pushrod engines, just not old enough apparently. Already done a lot of work to this little truck here. Replaced on some of the window moldings, the anti-rattle strips in the doors, gone through and did the brakes and the bearings, and pretty much just regular maintenance stuff. Really haven't had to do anything extreme. This truck was in great condition as it was, and I got it for real cheap. I'm not going to say how cheap, because everybody in the comments probably have something cheaper than that. Doesn't matter. Great buy for this truck, as little rust as I've found on it anyways. So other than that, there is not a whole lot of improvements to be had as far as the body of this vehicle or anything else like that. So one of the things we got going on right now is put some LED bulbs in here, and LED bulbs don't work great with the flasher inside, so not enough resistance, and got to put some resistors in here. You'll see that on one of the upcoming episodes to show you how to do that. And there's many different ways we can do it, but I've got some resistors we're going to throw in line. It should be a good one. The other vehicles I got in mind, I got a 69 Chevy C10 outside owned by my cousin, but we're doing a lot of work on it. Wish I had filmed a lot of the work that we had done prior to now, because it was a lot. That truck was in pretty bad shape. More to come on that. As far as, but anyways, enough on that. Let me show you around. Like I was saying, everything works great on this truck. All the latches, all the hood latches, all that stuff. There's some springs here and there that need replaced, but otherwise, truck's in beautiful condition. Little leaky. She is a little leaky. Let me bring you in a little closer here. So when I first got the truck, it had little to no noise. The clutch was a little loose, tightened it up down there on the Z-Link, worked great. But then it started developing this valve train noise, this rattling, and I wasn't sure exactly whether or not it was coming from low. Hopefully it's nothing like a rod bearing or anything else like that. But so I took off this plate here, looked at the lifters, looked at the push rods, pulled the valve cover off, repainted all that stuff. It is pretty nasty under there. There's lots of gunk, and we'll get into that in another episode when we go through and pull all this apart. But some of the push rods aren't spinning all the way around. They don't appear to be bent. They just feel like they're a little gunked up. Maybe the lifters aren't pumped up all the way. Went through, adjusted them. Noise really isn't going away. So that's something that needs to be addressed with this little truck. Really, the only leaks we got on it are back here, up here in the dipstick. Other than that, the thing's real clean, runs real good. Placed on the electric fuel pump. Not really into these little clicky-clack pumps, but it's getting the job done. And I don't know that I want to put a whole lot more money into this. I plan to put in a Windsor at some point or somewhere down the road. So I'll just stick with this for now. Also, another problem we got here, you'll notice a lot of air in this here filter. Got a little pinhole or something back there in the gas tank in the pickup tube. We'll fill it all the way up to the top. All this air disappears, fuel filter fills to the top. As it starts to run down into the tank, 3/4 tank, half tank, somewhere around there, you start seeing bubbles coming up through the fuel line, filling this fuel filter. It gets a little harder to start. That's another thing that needs to be addressed and fixed. How I'm going to do that, don't know yet. We'll get there though. Oh, drop my phone in here. As far as the rest of the truck, really good condition. Little dents here and there, nothing crazy, and some cracks here in the door panel from vibration. Otherwise, really good condition on the interior. Went through, and one thing I want to point out that I really thought was a great find was found some tractor gauges. Originally, this instrument cluster didn't have anything in these two locations on either side. All it had was the speedo in the center that comes with the temperature gauge and the fuel gauge and some idiot lights. But found this tractor gauges over here on Amazon. They're little 2-inch gauges, one for oil pressure and one ammeter, and they work great. And I think they fit in perfectly with these old style gauges, slim red needles. The thing really works good. So really proud of that one. Other than that, I get a whole lot of parts from LMC truck. As far as this mirror up here, the anti-rattle strips in the doors, got those from LMC. And it's really been a fun project so far. This truck came with all of the wood. There's a 3-stack, another 3-stack up front, and then these 2 stacks were in the back. I actually prefer to drive with the flatbed as it is, and as you can see, the wood in the back needs a little help. So either need stained, sanded, something somewhere around those lines. We'll get it taken care of though. Rest of the truck is pretty good. Another little scratch here, but I think it adds some character to it. Beyond that, good little truck. Good little truck. All right, well, let's track it up. Take a look underneath. Show you what she looks like underneath the truck. Yes, I do have the world's tiniest shop jack. If anybody wants to donate a full-size one, you know where to find me. Takes about 750 pumps to get it to the top high enough to get a jack stand underneath it. We'll get there in a decent amount of time. High she goes. Oh. So, like I was saying, everything's pretty clean under here. Been very well maintained. No rust, no issues like that. Underneath, all the body mounts look great. Frame rails look great. The floor pans, everything is beautiful. there is some quirky things in here, but other than that, real nice, real nice. So there is a mid 90s or late 90s. I think it's a 11 and a quarter, or I'm drawing a blank on the 3/4 ton Ford rear end in that years. If you know what it is, drop a down in the comments. The rear end's been replaced in here with this guy, much better gearing, probably a much stronger rear end. Switching it over to a full float rear end was a much better idea than what was probably in here to begin with. So I was really excited to see the upgrade, and know something that I didn't have to worry about in the future. I know some of you will probably say that my fuel issue, or the bubbling through the filter, is this guy right here. I pulled this off, replaced it, and put a new one on. Probably not the best fix, but it is airtight, I promise you. I put lots of pressure through it. Even though that pump is just a puller, it's not meant to create any pressure behind it. It's what I'm told that why you don't see any leaks in these pinholes out of these old fuel lines is there's no pressure, not enough pressure. It's just enough to where you can pull air into the system when there's a vacuum created. But this has all been replaced, ran some pressure through it, doesn't leak at all. So I don't think that's really the issue. I think it's actually the pickup tube in the tank. As I was referring to earlier, because of that, when the tank is full, that issue with the bubbles in the filter goes away. All right, all in all, I think with the new rear end, or new-ish rear end, rust-free body, I think it's going to be a real reliable truck. Should be a good, fun truck as well. Frame's nice and strong. Welcome to a pause for safety moment. If you're going to buy Harbor Freight jack stands, make sure you get the new ones. Well, all in all, I think the old Ford is going to be pretty reliable, other than the rattling that's going on the inside here. We'll look into that later. But I think it's going to be some great content for future videos, and certainly better than any Chevy I've ever worked on. Was that a PBR can?
Share the rules! Back in America!
Throws a PBR can. I haven't seen one of these since high school. So I hope you enjoyed this episode so far. It's kind of a short one. Didn't have any work to do on the vehicle this time. However, lots of things to come, and I hope you stay tuned, subscribe, hit the notification bell, like this video. Let me know in the comments what you want to see, what kind of things would make it better, or anything else like that. I'm open to whatever. Should be fun. Looking forward to seeing you there.